Men, what are you tired of hearing?
Every bone in my body crack when I stand up.
Because I'm a man, I'm automatically incapable of taking care of my own children on my own.
The car is making a funny noise, the furnace is making a funny noise, the sink is making a funny noise, our son is making a funny noise.
Real men, underscore, 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 underscore. Real men don't, underscore, 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 underscore. It really bothers me that there is supposedly a surge of mental health talk and the encouragement of men to open up and talk about your feelings, yet every single time that me or others I know attempted to do so, there's nothing but mockery and ridicule. The worst being when said issues are brought up during an argument for the sake of one-up you.
No one wants to work. Why are you such a pessimist? Everyone asterisk meets their love, you just have to be another nonsense, that is so positive it starts being toxic.
I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired.
There are no good guys around.
Women's problems being brought up whenever a man talks about men's problems.
All men, insert vitriol. Then, after the backlash of being a terrible person, oh my gosh, I didn't mean all men, obviously, despite the fact that what they said was pretty clear.
All men are negative.
When women say to me, "Why are you still single?" and my reply is, "Let's go for a coffee then," instant ghosting.
That anything I explain is mansplaining.
Dad, can I have?
Do you want praise for everything? No, but a simple thanks or thank you would not go unnoticed. I thank her for every meal and small thing. So when I list out things I did to help today, all I want is a thank you.
3 things why aren't there any good guys? If you have preference in women, those are not preferences, but you are being men are pigs, dogs, insert derogatory statements.
Tired of hearing how easy the world is for men.
Basically everything at this point. Not even directly related to being a man. I try so hard to enjoy people's company, but it seems no one cares enough to be a likable, respectable individual. No, Trent. I'm not talking about the inauthentic cartoon version of yourself you paint for your peers. Basically demonstrate authenticity, or please have the courtesy to let my ears breathe.
Listen, I don't take the "men are trash" thing personally. I don't mind reading it because I know I'm not like that, and I personally don't allow strangers to define what I absolutely recoil in disgust from hearing that from the girls' clique in my class, composed of the religious holier-than-thou, the Velma Expressway, the performative activist, and wait for cheetah.
My GF is bi, so I get irregularly in contact with and some of them seem to be woke. Once when we had a group of some in a bar, one of them was a bit and told me that men never show their feelings and that's toxic masculinity. I told her that men actually do talk and show emotions, they just select precisely who they tell them, and if a man never talks with her about his feelings, he just decided she's not trustworthy enough. That hit her pretty hard, since it was known that she takes screenshots of private messages and shows them just to have some gossip to talk, by the way, not a friend. She was just a friend of a friend of a.
Personally, I'm tired of hearing about other people's problems and always being the psychologist. Sometimes I want to vent my problems and have a way for them to be fixed instead of being like, it is what it is, and moving on. I mean therapist.
Many women, oh my why doesn't he come talk to me? I do literally nothing else but look at him, and he doesn't understand I like grow a pair and use your voice if you want to get to know someone. I don't understand why the onus is on men to do all the legwork of meeting women. Do you honestly expect to put in 0 effort and just have a partner fall into your lap? Oh, what's that? You're too scared to talk to him. Afraid he'll reject you. Cry me a river, I'll you a bridge. We don't have it any.
Condescension.
White followed by the latest thing white men are getting blamed for.
Men are abusive, toxic masculinity. Women were all abused in history by toxic my kids. There is nothing to eat at home after we spent $400 on you, buy me another pair of.
Want to buy my premium content? Actually serious about this one. Can't start a conversation sometimes.
Where have all the good men gone? It used to me off, but now I sing, and where are all the gods, in my head, and get a good chuckle out of it.
I am 40 plus if that matters. The idiotic useless brainless toilet seat. I am a man. I've never liked standing up to take a. I always since I was a child sat down for that. My dad stands up to take a. My brother does it. All of my male friends does. Once in my life have I ever had the problem of putting the toilet seat down. And they have never ever had the problem of putting it as it that when it comes to the toilet seat girls' brains just stop to function. I am so sick and tired of hearing and reading about girls that when it comes to toilet seats just completely break down and can't figure it out, and then blast the guys for the seat is up, you can put it down. The most ridiculous girl version of weaponized incompetence. Arg, rant over.
Confusing equality with either being mean, at best, or being misogynistic, at worst. Equality means we are equally accountable and responsible for our lives and decisions. Accountability and responsibility come with consequences, and you don't get a pass because you have a.
Men are only after one thing.
We don't need men for anything. I see so many women saying this on podcasts and videos, and it just blows my mind. Even if it's true, which I believe it is not, so what? Cool, you don't need men. How will we as a gender survive your lack of need for us? If you don't need us, discontinue interaction with all men and continue living your life.
That we always need to do better and be better, while women get to be worthy of so much for doing little more than breathing. Look of triumph.
American women complaining about how tough they have it. They live years longer than everyone else. The educational system is tilted in their favor and they have a legal get-out-of-jail-free card, aka probation.
Men need to open. Every man that's ever followed that advice knows it's not good advice. It's voyeuristic hedonism from women who want to feel depended on.
I am not like other girls, said by ever other girl.
Work on yourself and the right women will come. Biggest BS ever.
Tinnitus.
The myth about the gender pay gap. The myth of the patriarchy.
Me. Less than looking after my son, greater than wife's friend. Oh, are you babysitting today, Dad? Me. No, I'm parenting.
I have a 3-week-old, still 3-week premature baby. I'm home with her in a sling looking after her, cooking and cleaning at the same. All I hear is this, along with, I hear X is doing well with the baby, from my girlfriend's friends, and well, I'm bossing it like a pro to keep this household. Ad insult. I have done this all before. I have an 11-year-old daughter who I had at 23, yet still the expectation is that I'm going to be a useless bumbling buffoon and my girlfriend will instantly know how to do everything simply based on gender. Presumably projection because of how useless their spouses were.
Mum of 2 here, married to a husband who, like many dads I know, is a great bean in various mum groups. I have to admit that it's one of these groups' favorite hobbies, complaining about how their husbands have no idea what they're doing and how the kids would just starve if left alone with. Went on a playdate today with parents of my child's friends. Same complaint that I always hear, that the husband can't cook to save his own life. Then invariably the conversation turns to what the women are cooking, packing for the children. I was expected to contribute to the had nothing to contribute. My husband is the cook in our household. He makes our meals and he packs the lunches. When I said this, it almost felt like they hated me a bit for not being able to understand their normalizers, the useless dad trope, and I think mothers absolutely contribute to it. I'm sorry you keep hearing this. I tend not to participate in making these comments. I have 2 sons and I don't want them growing up thinking they will be less capable than a female at being a parent.
I saw many bad moms whose children would be lost without having a good father who carry on the family.
You know how many times I've heard this. And my child isn't even born yet. Extended family somehow think I'm incapable of caring for a child 'cause I'm a man. And I know I'll make a pretty good dad. And I know for a fact I'm gonna be a better parent than all of them. 'Cause their childs are spoiled little brats. They just think I won't make a good dad because I'm having my child at 22 years old and I'm not married. You extended family.
I was told by a coworker that I don't know how to read pregnancy treats because my 7+ years experience in medical labs reading them on an almost daily basis does not grant me the experience that they, a woman, would have from personally taking.
It's like every man is expected to be somehow born with the ability and will to do.
Real men would put the men don't hide behind.
Society came far enough to get away from phrases that define what a good woman, wife has to be. Yet those about men are thrown around occasionally.
I used to work at a cigar lounge, and we had a group of men who started meeting there on a regular basis to talk about business strategies or other business-related things. It started to become more of a men's support group. Each man got a chance to speak. They talk about their business and what they do, then talk about the main topic of the day, usually business related. Think, what hurdles did you have to get over when you first started your business, or what did you do that was different from your competition that made you stand out? From there, they can get very personal and reveal something about themselves to the group. Sometimes, they are bringing up past struggles. Other times, they are presently facing a difficult time. Either way, the group hears them out. The speakers get some catharsis out of sharing their stories. Then, they all enjoy the remaining time drinking whiskey and smoking. First, I found it silly or awkward that these men were basically breaking down crying to a group of strangers. I started to hear more of their stories, and I learned that these men didn't have anyone else to go to. They have spent so much time working to make a better life for themselves that they felt lost. Failed marriages, death in the family, cancer, these things are a reality for them, and they can't always bring those worries with them into the workplace. They essentially created a safe space for men to talk about work and vent there. I found myself speaking in front of this group a few times. I was surprised that I could contribute, and the group was impressed with what I had to agree with you that it's hard for us men to open up. Even harder with the fear of having our weaknesses used against us.